What's happening, guys? GT Falcon 101 here, and welcome to my preview for the 2013 Hungarian Grand Prix at the Hungaroring, just outside the capital of Budapest, which has hosted the Grand Prix since its first race back in 1986. 10th round of 10th round of the Formula One World Championship. And before we go into a bit of technical, if we talk about technical with the track, let me just go over some news which has hit the F1 paddock. First of all, Pirelli once again back in the spotlight, but not as severe as people might have hoped or expected. Pirelli have finally changed the tyres to 2012 construction and a 2013 compounds. Now, what I mean by this is that the construction back in 2012 they used this carbon Kevlar belt to keep the tire in shape and to support the tire. But in 2013 they used a steel belt, pretty much to save money, and And as a result, if you good comparison, back in Bahrain earlier this year, Lewis Hamilton did have a tire delamination, and I can right at the end of practice 3, and he was using the carbon Kevlar belt tires, and when his tire did fall apart, it was only the rubber. However, the carbon Kevlar belt stayed intact, and the tire wasn't completely destroyed. It was just the carbon Kevlar belt that was remained intact, and only the tire rubber actually ripped off the tire. But we may remember rather recently in Silverstone when he had the tire delamination, and he was not the only one. Possibly at least another 5 or 6 people had tire problems that day. When his tire delaminated, it completely ripped apart. The steel belt did not do its job. As soon as the tire delaminated, it completely tore apart. The tire failed. The rubber completely tore away, and the construction tore away as a result, which was it's extremely dangerous. So they're opting back to the 2012 construction and the 2013 compounds. So pretty much the same: super softs, mediums, hards, and intermediates and wets, as you've seen over the past, the season so far. Pit lane rules, we may remember back in Germany, one of the cameramen for F1, forgot about his name down my sheet. One is quite rather a famous one, pretty well known, respected pit lane cameraman, got hit by a tire when Mark Webber's rear right tire failed to go on to the car, and basically got a bid for freedom and hit the cameraman at the back, causing some injury. Luckily he's alright now, and I don't know whether he's available to go into Hungary, but if he is, good on him. We're happy to see him back. So as a result of this, the FIA has decided to change the rules regarding the amount of people in the pit lane. Only team personnel and only FI personnel, only the most important people involved in the teams, like the mechanics, the engineers, the team principals, the stewards, the first aid guys, they are only allowed on the pit lane. No cameramen, and people who are working in the pit lane must wear a helmet, some head protection, and this was confirmed by the FIA, and they said that all personnel on the pit lane, working in the pit lane, must wear a helmet. Mechanics wear helmets anyway, but people who are working at the side, they should wear head protection as well. So yeah, it might sound a bit over the top, but well, we don't want to see another incident like this happen again. I mean, it hasn't really happened a lot. I mean, possibly the last time I could probably remember something like this happened was like 20 years ago or something. But these things happen, really, but they could happen to anyone at any time, and FIA should take precautions to eliminate the risks of something like this happening again. but it wasn't even Mark's fault. It wasn't even, I think it was his name Mark. But I'll put some annotation on just to say what actually was. So I just wish he's back on the camera, and if he is, say hello. Now, somebody has been a little bit of a bad boy. In the F1 paddock, Bernie Eccleston has been charged of bribery. He's been bribing with our German bank, with our German banker. Ever since thing was back probably 2007, I think. He was bribing and he got found guilty. I hate it when these things happen. Like when murders happened 20 years ago and the person who committed the murder gets sentenced now. What's the point? You might as well just kill him. Yeah, sorry if that was a bit hard, but anyway. So yep, he'd been charged with bribery, and this could seriously affect his position as owner of Formula One management. Now, the track, it's a Monaco style track, and what's rather unique about this is that the first and third sector are very similar. I might put up a little map on the screen right now. You can see that the first sector and the third sector are similar, apart from the first sector is a little bit longer. However, the second sector is where Monaco comes into play. The track isn't as narrow as Monaco. Obviously much wider than Monaco, but still narrow enough to be considered not a Monaco style track. Rather twisty second sector, and that's like one of the worst sectors for me because it's just too much. I just don't really like the track, to be honest. It's just a bit too twisty for me and all that kind of stuff. But well, I've got mixed feelings about it. It's not my favourite track, and I'm not calling it my absolute worst. It's just not my favourite, pretty much. It's not exactly my top 5 of my tracks. And there's 2 DRS zones at the start-finish straight and the starter straight after turn 1 and into turn 2. Which isn't that long. Obviously not as long as turn 1 as the main straight, but it's a DRS zone. I would have picked the straight between turn 3 and 4, but the problem is turn 4, it's a very quick track corner, and it's sort of blind apex and that, so it's a bit dangerous to have a DRS zone there. I would possibly another one is turn 11 and 12, but it probably isn't long enough. And that's pretty much all the other DRS zones I could think of. But the DRS zones, so we'll see what happens. They probably did this because, like Monaco, there's not a lot of overtaking possibilities. The main straight and possibly the first and third sector are the only good places to have it overtake. But who knows? We've seen it in Monaco. Adrian Stewart did some amazing overtakes. Kimi Räikkönen as well. Paul di Resta, they did some amazing overtakes in Monaco this year. So who knows? Somebody could be a daredevil and perform a daredevil stunt to someone, and hopefully we won't see a big huge crash as a result. So that pretty much wraps that up. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and I hope to see you soon for my next video, which will be the Hungarian Grand Prix review. Thanks for watching and hope to see you soon. See yas.